we get a closer look at the 4 finalists for Victoria Chief of Police.
And in Uvalde, students walk out to protest gun violence in the wake of Nashville's school shooting.
Plus, a settlement reached in Goliad County regarding cemetery grounds.
Well, the excitement has begun. That was round 1 that we had this afternoon. We still have more storms down south, and they're moving to the northeast. I think you're in the track, so we're looking for more thunder boomers overnight and how far into the weekend. We'll have your forecast coming up.
And a crosstown rivalry did not disappoint last night between the Victoria East and West softball and baseball teams. We have the highlights in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
Hail hitting the crossroads Wednesday evening. This video of hail coming in after 7 o'clock from our great viewer Debbie, 15 minutes from Victoria past the Victoria Regional Airport. Around 6:45 tonight, we saw some hail. We are under alert days through Friday. This photo of hail on North Mesquite Drive sent in by our great viewer Rosie. So let's take a first look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez. Mac, we got some rain, hail, and those temperatures dropped too.
Yeah, it got a little chilly there. The temperature dropped about 20 degrees when that cool front came through, and of course the big storms. Now, thank you all who sent us photographs and pictures, because it is truly unique to see hail that large this far south or this close to the Gulf of Mexico. Now, here is the city. We're right about here in the middle, and you can see how we have showers to the north and showers to the south. Whenever you see a blue top like that one, that's hail. So that's what came over the area. So it's not over with. As I mentioned, that's round 1. Now we're looking for more activity to roll through the night. We're having heavy thunderstorms just to the west of us and also to the southwest. Now there's Karnes City. So all of this is going to be drifting, like I told you, because of that jet stream. These storms are going to be big again tomorrow. How long into the weekend will they last? All that coming up in a moment. Stay tuned.
Mac, thank you. Revised preliminary flood risk information and updated flood insurance rate maps are available for review in Victoria County. The 90-day appeal and comment period for the city of Victoria and the unincorporated areas of Victoria County runs through July 4th. For information, call 877-FEMA-MAP.
Today we had the opportunity to speak with the 4 finalists for Chief of Police in Victoria.
25 News Now reporter Darius McCormick sat down with all 4 men to learn more about what they want to be, why they want to be the top cop in Victoria. Darius?
That's right, y'all. Former Police Chief Roberto Arredondo left the position in December of 2022. Now you get to meet the 4 finalists who want to step in and lead the Victoria PD. Thedrick Andres, Eric Blanchard, Dr. Jonathan Flores, and Chuck Young stopped by the Victoria Community Center. Their goal? To allow the community to learn a little bit more about them. The finalists combined share more than 100 years experience in policing. Thedrick Andres started his law enforcement career over 30 years ago and holds a master's degree in criminal justice. He retired in February 2023, but he continues to serve on the Police Executive Research Forum and the International Association of Chiefs of Police. Andres wants VPD to work on a closer relationship with the community, starting with himself.
So our officers are going to see me as Chief Andres out in the community, right? I think that you model the way through procedural justice. It's important that our community know that as a police chief, I believe in treating everyone with dignity and respect. And I expect our officers to be proactive in the community, building relationships with all facets of the community here in Victoria.
After serving on the police force since 2000, Eric Blanchard received recognition as more than just a police chief. He was also recognized as an outstanding citizen. He even received the Key of the City in Aransas for his efforts during Hurricane Harvey in 2017. Blanchard will use his experience to expand the knowledge of VPD officers.
Well, I believe that I have longevity in the business. I have a drive and ambition that puts me all in. I have a vast array of experiences with the agencies I've worked for the last 22 years of policing. I've had experience that cover everything.
Dr. Jonathan Flores started as an emergency communication specialist a year after Blanchard. Now, he's a National Law Enforcement Hall of Famer. His extensive knowledge on law enforcement helped him serve as a police chief of Alton since 2018. Dr. Flores wants to use VPD's set practices, but elevate them.
So we're just going to build upon that and build upon the data-driven strategies that have been implemented by the former chief, Chief Arredondo. And we're going to build upon the successes that they've had and just continue to provide a quality and professional police service to the community.
This candidate may look familiar. Chuck Young has served as VPD Deputy Chief since 2021. He's another well-decorated and awarded finalist, holding a Master Peace Officer's license, which shows he's committed to the force. Young has moved to, worked for, and wants to stay in this community.
Again, the natural progression is to, now that there is an opening, I've applied for the opening, and I care about the men and women of the department. I want them to have the best that they can, and I think I'm that guy.
All of the finalists continue to serve their communities. Now they want to lead here in the Victoria community. Darius McCormick, KAVU TV 25 News Now.
Darius, thank you. Victoria County Sheriff's Office reports traffic shut down Wednesday afternoon in the area of U.S. Highway 77 South and Paradise Ranch Road due to an overturned 18-wheeler. The scene was cleared and the road was reopened 2 hours later. Students at Uvalde High School in Texas were among those taking part in a National School Walkout Day today. The group Students Demand Action called on classrooms across the nation to walk out to protest school shootings and demand stronger gun control laws. This comes in the wake of last week's mass school shooting at Nashville that left 7 people dead, including the shooter. The group Students Demand Action says more than 200 schools scheduled protest on Wednesday.
Because one child is worth more than all the guns in the world, and I'm pretty sure many people can agree with that. You can replace the gun, but you can't replace the kid. I can't replace my niece, I can't ever get her back, and that's just the truth. And something does need to change.
Next month will be 1 year since the deadly mass shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, where 19 students and 2 teachers lost their lives.
New a settlement reached following a lawsuit trial in Goliad County. A cemetery association sued the new property owner. In the settlement, the gate to the Stockton Cemetery will remain unlocked. The easement must remain at 40 feet, and there are no hours to the cemetery. The property owner will also improve parking, and there was an undisclosed amount settled for damages. The association will continue the upkeep of the property. A spokesperson for the Cemetery Association told 25 News Now they are glad it is over and they are happy with the settlement. A massive floating blob of seaweed, yes, seaweed, has reached parts of Florida and Mexico and could soon wash up on the Texas coast. The seaweed is already washing ashore in Florida. South Padre Island officials say city crews will remove the seaweed only when necessary, when accumulations are especially high. There are no major health concerns, they say, but it will smell like dead fish. Those with respiratory issues like asthma could have irritated eyes and throats from it. An Austin-based modular home builder celebrated the opening of a new factory today in Cuero. The company's website says studio built by Amherst builds homes 50% more than traditional builders. Sean Dobson, CEO and founder of the Amherst Group, gave the opening remarks before inviting the ribbon-cutting attendees to tour the facility. Dobson says building homes on the intended homeowner's lot is a lot more time-intensive than it needs to be. The new factory is designed to accelerate and simplify the home building process.
We think this factory can output 60 homes, 60 of those every 30 days. It's amazingly efficient, and it provides a way better quality of life and job opportunities for the trades that we want to upgrade to craftsmen that are building these homes.
The factory plans to work with local vendors and talent to not only keep the building process efficient, but also to create jobs in the crossroads. The company has plans to build several homes for the San Antonio market as well. In the future, studio built by Amherst also plans to create homes for the Cuero area.
The Palacios Preservation Association is hosting a community meeting on the future of the Luther Hotel. The meeting is this Saturday, April 8th from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at the City by the Sea Museum, 401 Commerce Street in Palacios. People can ask questions about the Luther Hotel, and experts will talk about the future of the hotel. even though the Luther Hotel is listed on the National Register and is a recorded Texas historic landmark, its future is uncertain.
Keep Victoria Beautiful has a cleanup event Saturday, April 22nd. It's from 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. You can meet other volunteers at the parking lot in the 7600 block of Zach Lentz Parkway. You can sign up at keepvictoriabeautiful.org. Volunteers will spread out and clean up various locations. And this is going to bring us to your viewer poll tonight. Scan that QR code right there on your screen to participate. Is there an issue with littering in Victoria? Yes or no? According to these results, 96% say yes and 4% say no. Thank you for voting tonight. Remember, check us out tomorrow for our latest viewer poll. Here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca wave this week. Port Lavaca and Calhoun County officials finalized an agreement with the Victoria Economic Development Corporation for future economic development, and VFW Post 4403 honors surviving Vietnam War veterans. Plus, the Calhoun High School academic team wins its 9th straight district championship. Congratulations. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com.
Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10. A Colorado woman is under arrest after a tip led to a body in her condo's crawl space.
Also ahead, police in Minnesota offering a $50,000 reward for information that leads to a missing mother of 2.
It's only 2 days, Friday and Saturday at Lax Furniture, and it's really big. Get 2 times the tax savings, up to 50% off select items, and no interest financing. Where else will you get that? Nowhere but Lax.
Need weather around the clock? When the weather changes in the Crossroads, you need a reliable source. Visit Interactive Radar online for the latest conditions in the Crossroads area. CrossroadsToday.com. Weather at your fingertips.
Join happy Optimum customers who love their fast Optimum 300 meg internet for as low as $30 a month. Paul says it's reliable internet, great speed, reasonable pricing. Thanks, Paul. We think you're great too. Plus, Optimum has faster download speeds than AT&T nationwide. Get Optimum 300 meg internet for $30 a month with Optimum Mobile for as low as $15 a month. For your special offer, call 866-9-OPTIMUM. Go to Optimum.com or visit a store today. Get closer, go farther with Optimum.
Next, Kelly, it's an awesome April with honor. Yeah! Plus, from Ted Lasso, Phil Dempster.
How's it going for you?
Oh, so far it's going great. Even better now that we have some delicious eye candy on the couch.
She was referring to me. You play a soccer star in Ted Lasso. You play soccer in real life, though, too.
I do. I do.
Football, where you're from.
Thank you.
Yes. Where you're from. Yes.
Football.
Chevy Silverado and new Silverado HD. Choose your own path with the #1 best-selling retail full-size pickup and see where it takes you. Find new roads. It's Chevy truck season. Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2023 Silverado 1500 pickups, or get $2,250 total cash allowance on a 2023 Silverado with a turbo high output engine. Chevy drives Texas. Find new roads.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TV to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
A Colorado woman is under arrest after a tip led to a body in her condo's crawl space. Police in Aurora say a tip to Crime Stoppers led them to search the home of 29-year-old Casey Bach. The tipster said a 36-year-old man who had been missing since last summer was buried in the crawl space and covered with concrete. Bach is charged with accessory to homicide. Police say they have a second suspect, a man who's in custody right now for a different incident. His name has not yet been released.
Minnesota police are now offering a $50,000 reward for information that leads them to a missing mother of 2.
We believe Maddie's disappearance is involuntary, suspicious, and we are all concerned for her safety.
Thousands have come together in efforts to find Madeline Kingsbury.
This community has really rallied around us, and so many wonderful people have traveled from all over the state and beyond to come and help find my sister. And we're beyond grateful and we're truly touched.
Across southeast Minnesota, groups like this one have been searching high and low, leaving no stone left unturned.
We will remain loud about this and continue to advocate for Madeline any way, shape, or form.
Investigators have looked on foot, water, and air for Kingsbury and asked for the community's help in the search.
If you know anything or saw something suspicious, please call the Winona Police Department or Crime Stoppers. Your information might be the final piece that brings Maddie home.
Today, Ukrainian President Zelensky visited Poland, one of his country's closest allies. In a speech, he thanked Poland's leaders and its people for their full support during Russia's war with Ukraine. Mr. Zelensky saying nothing can divide the allies or deprive Europe of freedom. Meanwhile, the Polish president promised to send more military jets to Ukraine and said he will work to, quote, obtain security guarantees, unquote, for Ukraine at the upcoming summit in Lithuania.
Planet warming gases continue to rise in the atmosphere. In 2022, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, reports methane saw its fourth largest annual increase since NOAA's systematic measurements started in 1983. And it says methane was about 2.5 times the pre-industrial levels of the late 1800s. Meanwhile, now methane, a less abundant but more potent greenhouse gas, comes from landfills and is the main component of natural gas used to heat homes and cook. Here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Cuero Record this week. The city of Cuero has been chosen as a stop for the Tour of Honor, and the Cuero Gobblers placed in the top 10 at the regional powerlifting meet. Plus, the Keep Cuero Beautiful Litter Challenge collects 275 pounds of trash. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com.
I'm going to need more than an hour to talk about climate change and our atmosphere warming. I've only been talking about it for 30 years, and I'm just full of energy and information that I want to share with you someday. Anyway, but for tonight, we've got to worry about still more thunderstorms moving in our direction. I want to thank Bill Clough, who reported 0.6 of an inch, more than half an inch, out of Riverside Park with the rain that came through. Well, more is on the horizon. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Looking for a way to support your community? Find unique treasures at Blue & Company. Why not catch a movie at the Grand Theater or spruce up your garden at Handy Stop Nursery? Shop local and support your community. Visit Yoakum and explore all it has to offer.
CCA Texas and industry leaders have built the largest saltwater redfish, spotted sea trout, and southern flounder hatchery system in the world, releasing nearly 1 billion fingerlings into our Texas bays. Adult broodstock are spawned in tanks. Hundreds of thousands of fingerlings are raised in grow-out ponds and released into bays to ensure we have healthy populations for future generations. Join CCA today and help us make a difference.
Stay up to date with what's happening in the Crossroads by downloading the Crossroads Today mobile app. You'll get instant alerts to your phone or tablet the minute breaking news or weather happens. Only the free Crossroads Today mobile app features weather updates for local sports. The Crossroads Today app gives you the ability to stream our daily newscasts when you're on the go and share pictures or tips straight to our newsroom and so much more. Brought to you locally by Prosperity Bank with 12 locations serving the Crossroads area.
I can dance. The music doesn't require too much coordination, just a little flow.
We'd like to see you.
Next live, Ashton Kutcher, Beth Bears, and the Alvin Ailey Dance Theater perform.
Darling, you have no idea what you did out there.
Gifts, gifts, and more gifts. Come to the homestead and leave with the perfect gift for everyone and every occasion.
Kimberly and
Angel lost their 10-year-old daughter, Amerie, in the tragic Uvalde school shooting.
She'll never know I was trying so hard to get in there.
The friend who tried to save her.
She said they shot my best friend.
She said she was laying there, not breathing, so she hugged her.
While saving herself. She smeared blood on her to make it look like she had been shot. A Dr. Phil exclusive.
Well, quite a bit of excitement for our area now that we got some serious weather rolling through our area. In addition to the 0.6 of an inch of rain that occurred out at Riverside Park in Telferner. Did I say that right, Don? Telferner? Telferner, okay. They also had reports of hail about ping pong size. So this was very unusual. Now, you know, you need cold air at the top of the storm in order for that water to freeze and come down as ice. Well, because when they get down this close to the Gulf, the warm air from the Gulf raises the temperature of freezing, and that's why we seldom get hail, but we certainly did get it today. Now, here's the city right there. Right there is Victoria. Okay, that's the crossroads. Now, we've got storms to the west of us over Karnes City, and we've got a whole line of storms rolling up from the Pearsall-Cotulla area. They're moving to the northeast. You can see them right about there. Now, whenever you see these blue spots on the very top, that means that there's hail in that storm because that's the super coldest part of the storm. And so all these yellow little squares is where they have a severe thunderstorm warning. So bottom line is it's not going to be a quiet night. We're going to have periods of showers and thunderstorms. Now, here's the very interesting part. I told you yesterday how the front was going to come down and then back up and all that, and then it was going to tap into a jet streak. Well, the jet streak kicked in. You can see how the storms aren't rolling inland. They've been caught by the upper winds and they're now moving northeast. So that gets to strengthen the storm. That's also colder air, and that's why they're a little bit heavier than anything we've seen in quite some time. Here's a perfect example. You can see how the satellite, the clouds start coming in, then the upper winds pick them up, they go northeast. So we're going to be on and off with this activity through tomorrow. So you will see periods of thunder showers, periods of quietness, and then there will be times when you'll see you hear thunder and see the lightning. Here's the big storm that we're attached to because it's all really one big system. Problem is our front is not going north or south. It's stalled. As a result, it is going to be the focusing mechanism for all the stormy weather. And then this area of low pressure develops Thursday night. Thursday night into Friday morning. Could have some serious thunder bumpers around here, and we're going to have to get ready for that. And then finally, the low starts to move away. When does it move away? It looks like Saturday. So here's what I've taken for the next 5 days, and this computer model is telling us we're going to get 2 to 3 inches of rain down at the coast. San Antonio, Austin, even Houston up to 5. So we're looking at a significant rainfall event through the next couple days. Now the question is, what are we going to do for Easter Sunday? All right. I have a plan. 63 will be our overnight low tomorrow, only 71 the high. We'll have showers, which are little storms, to thunderstorms that have thunder and lightning in them. They come in small, medium, and large. Those are the large ones. We'll have a gusty northwest wind, and of course, lots of instability around the area. So here's what we got to deal with. Thursday, 80% chance of showers, so it's going to be soggy. And we have it as an alert day because it's going to affect you one way or the other. I mean, you can stay inside if you want, but people are going to have to go to work and all that stuff, so you're going to be dodging thunder showers. Friday, same thing. Saturday, we get a little bit of a decrease in the amount of rain. And then Sunday, with a little luck, there will be a few little showers left over, but they won't have the energy of the stuff that we see for these 2 days. So let's just hope that by then we'll see a few breaks in the clouds. Punchline, everything's going to be soggy and muddy, so let's hide the Easter eggs under the sofa, and then the kids can get down there and get their Easter eggs. So with a little luck, we'll be clearing up by Sunday. Your 7-day forecast is also available on Crossroads Today, so if you scan that QR code, we can put it on your phone, and we can reach out to you anytime to let you know what's happening. And now it's time for sports with Gino.
Thanks, Mac. Both Victoria East and West softball and baseball teams went into extra innings last night. We have the final scores and highlights after the break.
Riding the bus to New York, it's an adventure. Some man get on the bus, he like, how you doing, Miss Thing? I'm like, look, I'll give you my number later, but I'm with my son. Stop. Thursday, we're all new with SWV.
Please tune in Sundays at 11 a.m. on KAVU Channel 25, Sudden Link Channel 4 to view the First Baptist Church weekly service.
For months, we've been saying that Fred Loya can save you more money on your car insurance. But just how much more? In recent months, people who switched from Geico and Progressive to Fred Loya Insurance have saved over $1,500 a year. State Farm customers who switched to Fred Loya saved over $1,600 a year. Allstate customers saved over $1,100 a year. That's a combined savings of over $240,000 a year. So start paying less. Call or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save.
I've just been placed in a foster home. The family's nice, but I just don't know them. I miss my family, miss my old school, miss my friends. I need someone I could talk to, someone who understands me. I wish there was someone who could make me feel less alone.
Become a CASA in your community for children in foster care. Make a difference and change a child's life. Register for training at goldencrescentcasa.org. or call 361-573-3734 for more information.
There have been ups and downs over the last couple of years, but we persevered and kept moving forward.
And it has been awesome to see our community staying strong and working together when we need each other.
We want to encourage you to keep strong, but also know that when life puts you in a difficult situation, our law firm is here to help.
We are proud Texans who have each other's back.
So from all of us here at Cole, Easley, and Skiba, we want to express our deep gratitude to our community and encourage you all to stay strong.
I believe you wanted to believe him.
I believe my son.
He's a liar.
A reckless teen runs wild.
The police came to your house and said your car has been involved in a hit and run.
Yes.
Look at the smirk on his face. I wouldn't let him have another car.
Then a crash course in kids.
He was drunk or high.
There was empty alcohol containers in the back of the Diaz vehicle.
Like I'm a mind reader.
Judge Judy.
At a Crossroads, the Victoria East and West baseball and softball teams battled it out on the diamond last night, and both games went into extra innings. Let's check out the highlights from the softball game first. To begin the game, the West Warriors opened up with a 4-run lead after this 3-run bomb by Karsten Kant. This was her first ever home run and a great time to do it too. But the East Titans weren't going away. Next inning, they tack on a run, then Tatiana Rocha comes to bat with bases loaded and brings everyone home with a grand slam. The Warriors would go on an 8-run score spree in a single inning. But the Titans going into the final inning, down just 3. Madison Lemon says, when life gives you lemons, you go yard. This homer to cut the lead to 2. Then again, Tatiana Rocha said, excuse me, ma'am, but may I have another? And she hits one, which would go off the bottom of the wall to bring in 2 more runs and send the game into extra innings. The East Lady Titans put the pressure on the Lady Warriors and scored 2 runs. East would go on and take care of business on the defensive side and go on and beat the West Lady Warriors for the first time in a handful of years. The Victoria East Titans win the high-scoring game 14-12 in extra innings against its crosstown rival, which it hadn't in for many years. East and West baseball had a wild finish at Riverside Stadium as well, all tied at 3 apiece going into extra innings. The West Warriors get on the board as Jay Guerrero comes home to take the 1-run lead, but East had an answer. A well-hit ball by Xavier Ortega to left center, but an amazing catch by the center fielder would still bring a run home, but what an amazing catch by him. In the 11th inning, Isaac Perez hits a fly ball to short left field. The defender dives for it, but drops it. A great effort, but East opens up with a double and in scoring position for the walk-off win. A pass ball gets Perez to third base. He's inching ever so close to victory, and to end the game, Grayson Youngblood has ice in his veins, hits the ball past the second baseman to end the game. East avoids the upset and wins after 4 extra innings of play via walk-off. The Victoria East Titans win by 1 in a game that did not end until after 11 o'clock last night. Final score 5-4 East Titans. And unlike Victoria East and West, the St. Joseph softball game did not go into extra innings, but it still came down to the final inning. Both teams went tick for tack, but the Lady Flyers offense became stagnant. The Hyde Park coach even intentionally walked one of the St. Joseph batters to prevent any potential damage that they might have caused. The Panthers had a great night hitting, including a couple home runs like this one on your screen. The Lady Flyers fought throughout the game and even scratched out a couple of runs in the final inning, but it would not be enough. Too many base running and fielding errors for the Flyers in this one. The Lady Flyers are now 17-3 overall, 4-2 in district after the 6-3 loss to Hyde Park. Well, that's your sports. Don and Karina, back to you.
All right, Gino, thank you. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10. We'll take a last look at your weather. Plus, NPR criticizing Twitter for labeling it as a propaganda outlet.
Keep Victoria Beautiful is having a cleanup for Earth Day. April 22nd, that morning, we're going to go clean up all around Victoria. Make this place we call home just a little bit nicer. Last time we had 400 of your friends, neighbors, high school baseball players, teachers, nurses there to help clean up. Go to keepvictoriabeautiful.org to sign up and learn more. Bring a team. It's going to be a great Saturday morning. Look forward to seeing you there.
Have you been told you have to live with your wound? There is hope at PAM Outpatient Wound Care. At PAM Outpatient Wound Care Clinic, you'll find the latest technology and the most committed and caring professionals dedicated to your wound healing. Our experienced wound healing experts and multidisciplinary team specialize in preventing amputation and preserving limbs.
I began hyperbarics here. I'm walking and have the leg, which is the best part.
Come see us at PAM Outpatient Wound Care, where healing starts here.
On Saturday, March 18th at 9:40 p.m., officers with the Victoria Police Department responded to a call of shots fired on the 3600 block of East Forest Street. They located a 32-year-old man who had been shot. Witnesses advised that after the shooting, the suspect fled in a dark-colored truck. If you have any information about this assault, please call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. All tips are anonymous. If you give information that leads to arrest or charges being filed, you could earn a cash reward.
NPR is criticizing Twitter for labeling the public radio broadcaster as, quote, state-affiliated media, unquote. That label typically saved for foreign propaganda outlets such as Russia's RT and Sputnik. National Public Radio CEO John Lansing is calling the action unacceptable and a violation of Twitter's own policy. NPR does receive some government funding, but CNN reports the vast majority comes from corporate sponsors and public broadcasting membership fees.
Now, if you are having problems sleeping, then you may be at a greater risk of having a stroke. Researchers looked at data from nearly 4,500 people across the globe. They found that those who slept less than 5 hours a night on average were 3 times more likely to have a stroke than those who got the recommended minimum amount of 7 hours. But getting too much sleep can also increase the risk of having a stroke. So we're a bit of a loss there. It's important to note that the study could only show an association between sleep problems and stroke, but it's not a definitive link.
When was the last time you had 7 hours of sleep?
Oh my God, let's be real.
Will people have trouble getting to sleep if they hear a lot of rain and hail on their roofs?
That's another reason that we're not going to get 7 hours of sleep. We've got more thunder showers rolling around South Texas. As you can see right about there, Victoria is right in the center of the screen. And to the west, for those of you out west, Karnes City and those areas, you're going to be getting thunder showers rolling up through the night and all day tomorrow. So this is not over with just yet. Take a look at your 7-day forecast. We still expect stormy weather for Thursday, Friday night, decreasing by Saturday, and hopefully gone by Sunday.
Thank you, Mac. And finally, take a look at these cute twins. The Sumatran tiger cubs, still a little shy, but they have started to emerge from their den at the Chester Zoo. The female cubs, named Alif and Raya, were born in January. They are part of a conservation breeding program to help the critically endangered species. The zoo says just 350 are left in the wilds of Indonesia. Experts blame their dwindling numbers on habitat loss and poaching.
Oh.
Keep those cats alive.
Keep them alive, because look at that. Oh, Fierce.
I wonder who decided to paint him like that. That's really amazing.
You know, my cat looks just like him with all the stripes. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that's where they're from. Well, thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10. Remember, we're streaming 24/7 on Crossroads Today Plus.
Join Catalina and Trey, 25 News Now Sunrise at 5 a.m. Good night.